Dear friend, how many times have you woken up in the morning, looked up at the ceiling, and asked yourself, why am I so unmotivated? Why do I just want to lie still for a long time, as if the outside world has no relevance to me anymore? If this is happening to you, know that you are not lost, and certainly not the unmotivated person you blame yourself for. In the ancient Indian hymns, in the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda, there is a truth. When you lose motivation, it is your soul that wants to talk to you. The moment you feel like you are falling away from life, you are actually being lifted to a new level. Yogananda once said, "People are tired only when they live far from their true nature. When they return to their soul, energy flows like the sun. The times we live in are times of great cosmic energy. As the frequency of the earth changes, your body, mind, and soul are trying to catch up with that upgrade. The loss of motivation, what you see as a breakdown, is sometimes the universe's fine-tuning for you. Have you ever noticed? When you try to push yourself, everything feels heavy. But when you let go, breathe lightly, be still, a certain ease appears in your mind. That's because your soul is trying to draw you into a state of stillness. Stillness is not an escape. Stillness is the gateway to your own depth, where God speaks most sacredly. Today, I will help you decode that message, according to Yogananda's teachings, your own intuition, and the principles of the universe, to show you that demotivation is not the end, but the first opening of a new stage of awakening. Why do you want to lie all day? Dear friend, the big mistake of humanity is to think that lethargy is a sign of weakness. But according to Yogananda, there are 3 deep reasons why a person just wants to lie still, to hide from the world, to lose interest in anything. And all 3 of those reasons are related to the journey of soul upgrading. 1. You are experiencing resistance between the old self and the new frequency. When the cosmic energy is lifted, your energy field is also pulled up. But the ego, the part accustomed to fear, old habits, control, does not want that. It resists. And the manifestation of this resistance is tiredness, heaviness, not wanting to do anything. It is like when you update the operating system of your computer. While the process is going on, the computer will slow down, freeze, even shut down. You are too. Your energy body is being updated to match the highest version of what your soul wants you to be. Yogananda calls this stage the friction between light and dark. Darkness is not a bad thing. Darkness is just the part of you that is not understood, that is afraid of change. 2. Your life is drifting off the soul path. One of the strongest messages that loss of motivation brings is, you are not living in accordance with your true nature. When you stray from Dharma, your soul purpose, you will feel working without joy, living without enthusiasm, not even knowing what you are trying for. Fatigue at this time is the divine break. God is pulling you back so that you do not go too far down a path that does not belong to you. Yogananda once taught, when a path is no longer light, do not try to continue. God is telling you to turn away. If you want to lie down, it may be because your soul is saying, enough. You are living the life that is not meant for you. 3. Your energy body is overloaded. You need stillness to rebalance. We often think we are tired because of lack of sleep, lack of vitamins, lack of rest. But the deep level of fatigue that makes you not want to do anything sometimes comes from energy overload. When the energy field is disturbed by anxiety, expectations, fear, repressed emotions, chaotic social frequencies, your body is forced to choose power off to recover mode. Just like a phone that gets hot from running too many applications, it will automatically reduce its performance to protect the battery. That is your soul is asking, turn it off. Rest. Let me repair you from within. When your soul is saying, the sacred message behind motivation. Dear friend, but from an enlightened perspective, collapse is the intersection of two worlds, the old world collapsing and your true world waiting to be opened. The soul only whispers, and only when you slow down enough, long enough, will you hear what it has to say. So, what is the sacred message behind your demotivation? 1. You are straying too far from your true nature. This is perhaps the most powerful message of all. When you are not living in accordance with what your soul chose before you were born, your spiritual body sends a warning, not with anger, but by emptiness. Emptiness, so that you are no longer interested in maintaining things that no longer belong to you. Emptiness, so that you have to ask yourself, what really nourishes me? Loss of motivation is an invitation to return to your true path. 2. It is time for you to stop and listen to the call within. Yogananda once said, "People pray too much with words, but forget to listen. You pray for guidance, answers, miracles. But if you keep running after work, responsibilities, expectations of the world, how can you hear the answer of the universe?" And so the soul has to stop you. Loss of motivation is the simplest way to force you to stop, to let silence envelop you, to give your inner voice space to resonate. When you don't feel like doing anything, it's the perfect moment to turn inward, to ask yourself, what's really important right now? 3. I need healing on a deeper level. When you're tired in a way that sleep can't fix, it's a sign of spiritual fatigue. It's not muscle fatigue. It's the fatigue of a heart that's been trying to be strong for too long. It's the fatigue of a mind that's been carrying unnecessary worries. It's the fatigue of a soul that's been damaged by living against its own principles. This loss of motivation is a self-healing mechanism. When you don't want to be around anyone, don't want to do anything, don't want to fight, don't want to try, that's when the old energy is dissolving, making way for the new. Yogananda calls this necessary unpacking, the inner process of clearing away your deepest fragments. 4. You are about to enter a new phase. The energy before a leap is always down, like an arrow that has to be pulled back to fly far. Like the calm sea before creating a big wave, your soul knows that you are about to change direction, about to open your consciousness, about to step into a higher version of yourself. But before you step through the new door, you need to clear space, defragment your energy, reset your mind. So, loss of motivation is not a sign of the end. It is a sign of the beginning. 5. Don't be afraid of silence. That is where God touches you. In silence, you hear what the noise of the world always obscures. Intuition, purpose, your inner calm, guidance from the divine. When you lie around all day, seemingly doing nothing, you are actually doing the most important thing, reconnecting with the light. That is why after long periods of fatigue, many people suddenly light up, change their lives, find their way. The silence you are forced to experience is a silent encounter with the divine within. Mistakes when facing motivation, and how Yogananda guides you to overcome it. There is a great paradox. The more demotivated people are, the more they try to force themselves to be stronger, and that forcing them further exhausts them. Yogananda teaches, you cannot heal by fighting yourself. Only with love and understanding can the darkness disappear. And here are some common mistakes when facing inner lethargy. Mistakenness 1. Blaming yourself for being weak and lazy. You think, why am I so useless? Everyone is trying, but I just want to lie down. I am such a failure. But my friend, demotivation is not because you are lazy. It is because your soul is going through a spiritual process. Blaming yourself only makes you lower your frequency, prolong your fatigue, create unnecessary guilt. Yogananda's way. Observe yourself with love. Instead of blaming yourself, ask, What is this energy trying to teach me? Ask the right questions, and you will get the right answers. Mistake 2. Forcing yourself to act as usual. People often think, just do it and the motivation will come. But with spiritual fatigue, the more you force, the more you hurt. This is when the energy body is purifying. When you force it to act, you go against the healing of the soul. Yogananda's way. He always talks about the sacred pause. You don't let go. You just pause to reconnect with Source. Give yourself permission to rest without feeling guilty. Mistake 3. Looking for solutions outside of yourself instead of inside. When we lose motivation, we often watch inspirational videos, seek advice from others, try to stimulate our minds with caffeine, plans, goals. But the source of healing for spiritual fatigue is not outside. It is in listening to our inner self. Yogananda's way. He taught the practice of inner asking. Close your eyes, place your hand on your heart, ask, "Soul, what do you need?" Then be silent, then listen. In that silence, the answer appears. Mistake 4. Trying to maintain things that have expired in your life. One of the biggest reasons you lose motivation is you are living a life that no longer belongs to you. But instead of letting go, you clinging to your old job, your old relationship, your old way of life. The more you cling, the more your energy is drained. Yogananda's way. Whatever no longer has light, let it go. Letting go of what no longer serves you is how you create space for what belongs to you to come in. Mistake 5. Only treating the symptoms, forgetting the root cause. You can take vitamins, sleep a lot, travel, change your environment. But if you don't treat the root cause, tired mind, misaligned soul, blocked energy field, then you are only treating the surface. Yogananda's way. Hear from the root with 3 disciplines. Satyam, Shanti, Prem. Satyam, look into your truth. Shanti, return to stillness. Prem, embrace yourself. When these 3 elements are in harmony, your energy naturally returns. How to transform a motivational period into a journey of deep awakening. Dear friend, the spiritual life never wastes a single pain, a single fatigue, or a single empty moment. Every dull moment can become a door if you know how to enter it. 1. See lethargy as a teacher, not an enemy. You cannot transform what you resist. So the first step in the awakening process is always acceptance. When you say, "Okay, I allow myself to feel this," your energy begins to change. Resistance creates blockages. Inclusion opens the flow. Yogananda once said, "When you open your heart, even sadness becomes a guide to your truth." 2. Enter the silence, where the soul begins to speak. Destroyedness is an invitation to sit down, breathe, and face the part of you that you have been avoiding for so long. You don't have to meditate for long. You just have to be honest. Sit still and ask, what am I running from? What in my life is no longer true for me? What voice inside me is longing for me to listen to? Dare to ask, and the soul will answer. 3. Distinguish between physical fatigue, mental fatigue, and spiritual fatigue. Where is your demotivation coming from? If you sleep for a night and feel fine, you are physically tired. If you rest for a few days but your mind is still heavy, you are mentally tired. If you rest, relax, do what you like, but still feel empty, that is soul fatigue. With soul fatigue, only introspection, silence, meditation, connection can cure it. Yogananda teaches you not to use low solutions to cure high problems. 4. Write honestly to release stuck emotions. When you write down your feelings, you allow the energy to move. Don't edit. Don't judge. Let the pen take you back to the truth. Many people have escaped despair by simply writing, "I am tired of." The truth always heals, not because it is comfortable, but because it is liberating. 5. Talk to your soul like you were talking to a friend. When you lie down, not wanting to do anything, that is when you can most easily connect with your deepest self. Place your hand on your heart and say, "Soul, I am listening." You will be surprised to find that the gentle voice inside is always present. It never left. You were just too busy to listen. 6. Let go of things that have expired. A relationship that has expired, a dream that no longer nourishes you, a job that is only an obligation but no longer meaningful. Letting go is not losing. Letting go is releasing energy to create something new. The call of the soul is always strongest when you are at a crossroads. 7. Transform your energy with small actions, but in the right direction. When you lose motivation, you don't need to change your whole life. You just need to take a small step in the right direction. A 5-minute meditation, a journal entry, a truth you dare to admit, a small decision to be more true to yourself, a kind act for yourself. Small steps turn the big wheel of karma. Surrendering. Yogananda said, "Surrendering to God does not weaken you. It frees you from what is not yours." Close your eyes and say, "I let go of what weighs me down. I open myself to what is mine," and you will feel a new vitality flowing through you.